Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Will There Be Cake? My name's Robert Lamb. With me, as always, Amber Simpson.
Hi.
Howdy.
What's going on?
I'm here.
How are you today?
I'm just recording a podcast.
Oh, okay.
How about you?
Yeah, same.
You good?
Yeah.
Solid. Okay, but before we get into the holiday that we are about to celebrate, we need to introduce our special guests.
They've
Ian
been here a lot.
Hello, everybody.
What'd you say, Emerson?
Why does he always go first?
Yeah, why does he always go first? Clockwork.
Clockwork.
Clockwork
Orange.
Alphabetical. Alphabetical by
Clockwise.
last name.
Yeah. And also, I always read left to right. So I always go, if you were sitting
So
over
you're
here.
not Arabic. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not
Why do you
reading
think I
Yeah,
sit
it's-
in this seat?
Yeah. That's why he always gets
Nice.
introduced. But again,
Sounds
I haven't even
selfish
introduced
to
the
me.
other
Oh.
person over
Hi.
here before we get into it. Beth, I forget. Schwebke.
Yeah, you did it.
Schwebke.
Alphabetical by last name.
Yeah.
F.
Aw.
S.
FS. Huh. Who knew?
But really, Robert should be sitting where you are, and you should be sitting there.
Yeah.
But I'm a host, so let's chill.
Okay.
No, just the way he says
only for the guests.
guess.
Yeah, just
Okay.
the guess.
All
I
right,
always put
sorry.
guess in order.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Watch it, or you're going to be last from now on. Simpson.
That's fine. I'll be last.
Schwebke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simpson.
I should be last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Every time. All right, what day are we celebrating? I hope it's something
I
about
think you should be
hobbits.
first,
It
but
is about
that's
hobbits.
me.
Wow.
Hobbit is.
Hobbit Day.
Hobbitses.
I don't know if it's
The
national
Hobbit.
or national.
It's probably just. It's probably,
probably just a
it-
day.
It might be international. They got everybody
pretty
loves it.
popular.
Probably.
New Zealand likes hobbits,
Yeah.
and
Everybody
wonder-
loves
so-
hobbits.
Lord of the Rings is a pretty popular.
yeah,
When was it
Pretty popular
written?
book.
Do you know?
1950,
Whoa.
40, 50 something. 1950.
Something like
It's older than you are, Ian.
1937.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh,
older.
1937.
September 21st, 1937
What?
That's the Hobbit.
is The Hobbit.
Okay.
It
When
was
There and
Hobbit
Back
Day.
Again was published.
true. when was
Wow.
Lord of the Rings though?
I don't
I'll look it up.
look it up. I don't know. I didn't.
Look it up. I'm on fire.
But yeah, 1937 was The Hobbit, There and Back Again, published by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, yeah.
And then in 1969, he sold the movie rights. And then December 19th, 2001, The Fellowship of the Ring was released, and that introduced the Hobbits to the big screen.
No, that's not
Nice.
true. There was a cartoon. There
Oh
was a
yeah,
Oh.
the Hobbit
Oh.
cartoon that
Big
used to.
screen, though.
That's
Came
not a
out.
big screen. That's a baby screen.
Well,
True.
Baby.
I think
quite sure.
when you
I
say it was a movie, when you
Yeah.
say
It was a
big
movie, but you're right. I don't
Oh,
know if
really?
it
I
came
don't know
out in
what the
theaters.
release was.
I just
mean,
remember I rented it. My dad used to rent it for
It
me
probably wasn't in
from the
theaters.
library.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Neato.
I'm not sure, but I mean, it wasn't like it was direct to Netflix. It didn't exist then. There was no.
Did you watch it in the
cable.
theater, Ian?
I
direct
don't
to
remember.
I don't- I
direct to
don't
Did you
remember.
have
VHS.
popcorn?
I don't.
I don't remember.
It
It's a
might have
long time
been
ago.
direct to VHS. You
Were
never
you
know.
on a date?
That was
or
the
no?
thing.
This was like before I would date. It was probably like
Like
That's
8 years
true.
old.
4 years. You weren't going on dates at 8 to
No.
the Cineplex,
No.
whatever they
I
called it
still
back
don't go
then.
on. I still don't go on dates now.
Yeah.
The Cineplex.
I think that's what they call it, Cineplex, Cinema Paradise.
It was just the movie theater.
Oh, that's all it was.
Yeah, it was a while before
just said
multiplexes
movies.
came.
No name.
The original theater I used to go to had one movie in it. That was it. It was a little
Damn.
It was a
freestanding.
tiny little town in New York.
It was
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
No raised seats, just all straight.
Yeah,
you had to
just
look
straight.
at the
You
back
had
of
to
people's
look.
head.
Yeah,
You
you had to
did.
like
That's
lean
exactly
over.
what it was like.
Tyrone
That
used to
sounds
be like
awful.
that. It was horrible.
I know. That's the only theater I ever went to that was like
God,
that.
somebody comes in wearing like a British soldier hat and you can't see past
Oh
them
no!
at all.
And inevitably, it would be like all short people, and then I'd get the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like all the
With the top
kids, and
hat.
then the dad would
Yeah.
be right in front of me, and I could never see.
I don't think
Oh,
I would
that's
go see
frustrating.
movies if that was the case. But I
Yeah.
guess I see concerts and
You
that
didn't have
happens.
any choice. That was how movies were.
That's
Yeah,
true.
there was no.
Wasn't
They didn't
like-
know about stadium seating then.
Right.
They discovered stadium seating in 1997.
Gee,
That's when they
true.
first saw their first seats, and then they like took a step up and saw more seats, and they're like, "We gotta capitalize on this."
Wow.
I believe it was that year. I don't know.
I believe you're full of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of movies,
Yeah.
Hobbit came out. The movie Hobbit came out December 6, 2012. That's my birthday. Not the year,
Aw.
but the day.
Nice.
Right.
Um,
She was born.
and
in
it grossed
2012.
37 million on opening night.
The Hobbit movies weren't that great though.
Yeah. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. They dragged it out into 3 movies, and it should have
was
just been
unnecessary.
one.
Yeah.
Either one 3-hour movie or maybe 2 2-hour movies. But
I mean, it's Lord of the Rings are all
Yeah, but
just
Lord of the Rings
dragged
are
out
longer
forever
and have way more
ever.
characters.
So much walking and
Which is,
talking.
does that mean it's better?
yeah.
With more
Actually,
characters?
Lord of the Rings is better. They're better movies than
Yeah.
Hobbits are.
They are. But the Hobbits are in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bilbo Baggins, Frodo.
Yeah.
Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin.
Merry and Pippin.
Okay, so the Hobbit TV show. I mean, the Hobbit was a TV show, like a
Okay.
TV movie. I'm sorry,
A
TV movie.
TV
Okay.
movie. It was
So-
1977. It came out and it played on NBC
Okay.
as a TV
wow.
movie.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Not the big screen.
So
Not the big-
depending
Not
on
the big screen, small
but
screen.
how
But
you
the
watch
screen.
TV in your
Small screen.
house.
Small screen.
It
That's
could be a
true.
big
Could've been a
screen
big
if you
screen.
if you had a big screen TV. If you were rich in 1977,
Did they
you had a
even
big
make
screen.
big screen TVs back then?
They made they weren't big screen. They were big TVs.
big
Like-
tube
like
TVs.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. It would
The
take up
back
like your
was
whole
as big
living
as
room.
the front.
Had to replace the lamp in the back or whatever, the light bulb.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
Squeaky.
They would, like they would come in giant like
Encased
pieces
in
of
a-
wood, pieces,
yeah.
furniture.
Yeah.
Like you,
It
like
had a
you planned your
stereo
whole
on one
living
side
room.
of it.
The
around
antenna on
this
the top,
giant
the
thing.
rabbit ears.
Yeah,
Go over there. Son, go hold that up higher. Then you just have your youngest child
We had
hold
to
it
walk up to the television to
Crunk,
change the
crunk.
channel.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Crunk, crunk, to get to all three channels.
Watch
you had.
porn through the fuzzy channels.
What?
Yeah. No, that was the 90s.
Yeah, it was the 90s.
Every time I
No,
saw a
no,
boob,
that
I
was
was
the
like,
80s.
got it.
That was the 80s.
It was the 80s.
80s, you did
Oh.
that too. Yeah,
I guess.
that happened in the 80s.
We were too young to.
HBO
I
After Dark.
I used to do that.
In
like,
the 80s, though?
not in the 80s,
In the
but like
90s.
early 90s. I remember we would get like the Spice Channel. And it would always be
Nice.
fuzzy, but at night at like 1 a.m., if I stayed up late enough, every once in a while, like it would like freeze. And then there'd just be like a naked woman. And I'm like, yes, got it.
It was worth sitting here staring at this fuzz for 8
Like,
hours.
come on. Well, the fuzz would, like on the left and right would
Yeah.
kind of like
Would-
eventually
right.
just connect. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, there's a whole boob. Perfect. That was good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Boys
Anyways,
will
back
be
to the
boys.
Hobbit.
Back to Hobbits.
The Hobbit. No
No.
boobs in the
No
Hobbit.
more talking about Robert being a boob.
Yeah, no
Are
boobs in
there-
the Hobbit.
Any princessy type characters? I don't know that.
Actually, I think it was mostly
series.
male characters in the books, but they
Sounds
added.
boring.
Yeah, are there any female Hobbits?
I mean, I think there are some female
Yeah, there-
characters,
yeah,
but
there are, but
Well, the
but not
Hobbits.
a lot.
not in the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the movie.
Well, because they're supposed to just be like their own separate race. Just
Yeah, they
small
are.
people.
They live in the Shire.
yeah.
But it's all males. How do they?
No,
No, it's
no,
not
they
all
have
males.
females.
They
I mean,
have-
there's
they
no
have
main
wives.
character. There's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like a lot of main
There's not
characters
any
that are
female
females.
main characters
Like in the
that are
Fellowship of the
hobbits.
Ring, none of the Fellowship were females. It was the
No,
four hobbits.
Just Arwen and
Yeah, but she
Oh,
was
yeah,
like a
Arwen,
side
yeah.
character.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Anyway,
Hobbits-
Liv Tyler.
Hobbits are shy, yet capable of great courage, reluctant to leave their homes, yet thirsty for
Oh.
adventure, quiet and peaceful, yet eager to host parties.
They like
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a dichotomy.
potatoes.
Potatoes. They got
Yeah.
big hairy feet,
Yep.
Oh,
pointy ears, right?
Short.
Do they have pointy ears?
No,
Yeah, pointy
do
ears.
they?
Pointy ears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're short.
I think they're pointy. Big and pointy.
Well, elves had pointy ears.
I know,
don't know
that's
if
why I
they
was
had
confused.
pointy
I don't know.
ears.
They're big. I think they have big ears.
They just have big ears. I
They
think
might
they're
have
just
big
big.
ears.
Yeah,
I
they're
think-
big, not pointy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And then, but they, yeah,
But the
And then
best
there's-
part is that they eat second breakfast.
second breakfast.
Yeah,
That's a big
so-
That's
thing.
my favorite part.
That sounds
Yeah.
great.
They eat breakfast and then they eat second breakfast.
Yeah,
That's great.
they eat
Can't
a
go
lot.
wrong with that.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
When I was looking up ways to celebrate this holiday, one of them was to have a feast. Hobbits enjoy 6 meals a day. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. So
Eat
wait,
a
do
lot.
they have a lunch and second lunch also then, and a
Yeah,
dinner and a
sounds like it.
second
Probably.
dinner?
I think so.
Damn, they eat a lot.
it's a
They
lot.
do. They eat a lot. There's always dirty plates around.
Yeah, makes
Hmm.
sense.
Makes sense.
I read the book.
Do they eat the same stuff we eat?
Well,
Probably
potatoes they do.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they.
I think
do.
they eat like rabbit and stuff.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't,
know.
remember.
Hassan
There is-
Fafa.
I mean, there
I
are scenes
think.
where they're actually eating. They have a big feast, and I can't.
Yeah, I think
remember what they're eating.
the beginning of the Hobbit movie is them having a big feast, isn't
Well,
it?
he has everybody, all the dwarves
Yeah,
come over.
right when the Fellowship shows up.
And
right?
when Gandalf shows up in Lord of the Rings, they're having a big
Right.
feast and a celebration where he launches the fireworks and
Oh,
stuff.
right.
But I don't remember what they're eating. I think there's like a ham out there.
There's a ham.
Yeah, I don't remember what.
I never
mean,
read
I'm sure
the book.
they say it in the book. I
I think they eat
remember.
stew. They
Stew?
do stew. I
That
think
sounds
he
like
said.
a Hobbit
That
thing.
sounds right.
Yeah,
Wonder what's in it.
probably. I know
Rabbit.
potatoes for sure.
Potatoes.
For
Potatoes.
Because they
Annoying
say
humans,
po-
annoying
No, yeah, yeah.
people ask
The
questions.
men and who is it? Men, elves, dwarves, and hobbits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all.
That's
that was
what's in
part
the
of.
movie.
yeah,
I mean, that's what was
what's
part
in
of
the
the
story?
fellowship. Yeah.
In the-
I mean,
oh.
there's probably other things too, but that was mostly what was
Sounds
part
very
of the fellowship.
masculine.
A lot of. I just think it's weird that there's like men, and then there's also elves, but there's like man elves too, and man
Little men
They're
are
hobbits.
probably
male.
human
they're
men.
male elves,
Male elves.
Male
not
elves.
man. They're male. Elves.
But they're still men.
No, they're not. They're elves. We just went through this.
I know,
It's a
but that's
race.
like, yeah, There's different
Oh, so
races of
male and female.
man.
No, they're not. The man is the race. They're men.
Okay.
But they're
So what do you call a female elf and a man elf?
A female elf and
What
a
do
male
you
elf.
call
Male elf.
a female man?
Not man.
Make
male.
it more of a joke. What do you call when you cross a male elf with a female elf?
But there are female elves there and other creatures, but they're just not a main character in this.
Oh,
story.
Arwen's
there
a
are.
main.
There are a
There's
lot
a
of
character and stuff. I mean, they're just not part of like the Fellowship. And I was trying to think of like hobbits. There's
Fellowship
only
is
really
the main group that does
Sexist.
the adventure.
yeah.
So
There's
they
only,
meet up
no, but
with-
he did get like they call him out like J.R.R. Tolkien about not having more female.
Yeah,
they
I'm
call it
disappointed in him.
But again, it was like the 50s, it was the 30s and 50s,
man.
30s.
Yeah.
But that's why
That's the time.
Arwen is more of a main character in
in
the
the
movies.
movies, right?
Yeah.
She's not in the book.
But Kate Blanchett, who
Oh.
plays
She plays the
elf.
the elf
Princess,
queen. Or
queen,
Yeah.
whatever.
She's in the
huge role.
book.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got a huge part.
she's in
Oh,
the
really?
book. Yeah.
She's a huge
All right,
character.
thank you. That makes me feel better.
All right, now we
And
can
she's a badass
move
too.
on.
Yeah.
Well,
She is a badass.
Naturally.
Yeah. She
So I have
screams at
some
the camera.
some fun facts about the movie itself. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson
bring
filmed
it
them all
on.
at the same time.
The Hobbit crew used up all of the gold paint in New Zealand when creating
Yeah.
Smaug's lair.
That's cool.
Nice.
They had to order more paint and get it flown in from Germany.
Wow.
The Battle of the Five
Wait, so
Armies.
that wasn't all real gold? You mean that isn't like
No,
real
just
treasure?
somehow.
just paint.
Oh, that's
Damn.
lame.
It's disappointing. I'm
That's
sorry I
sad.
ruined the movie
I was
for you.
wondering how I can go there and steal some of
And
it.
get some. The dragon's
I've
guarding
been
it,
thinking
though.
for all these years. I've been trying
The
to plan
dragon's
how to
guarding all of
outsmart,
it.
Smaug.
Schmaug.
The Smaug. The Battle of the Five Armies holds the world record for the longest fight sequence in a film at 45 minutes in the theatrical version.
Whoa.
It's such an amazing scene too.
That's
Is
crazy.
it?
I think so.
That's
yeah.
great.
That was the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the dwarves' beards and hair were made of real yak hair. Some of the wig and beard combinations cost the makeup department upwards of $10,000.
Wow.
That's crazy
Jeez.
I
talk.
guess that's why it cost so much to make that movie, huh?
I know
Oh.
Peter Jackson in The Lord of the Rings, like one of the trees in the Shire, he had them build from scratch, like even each leaf, and they
What?
tape not taped it, but glued it onto like the
Right.
branches and stuff, and that took like so long.
Of course.
That's
Wow.
so much money.
That's crazy. It's better than special effects. Like,
Yeah, I mean it makes it look real.
The first roar the audience hears from Smaug is actually a soundbite of the director's 7-year-old daughter making a roaring noise, manipulated and corrected to sound like a dragon in the movie.
Oh, that's,
Ah,
I like that.
Cute.
interesting.
Cute.
During the midnight screening in Sao Paulo, Brazil, one of the cinema speakers broke right after Smaug's first roar. I don't know why that's a fun fact, but sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a loud pop and it was
Aren't they doing,
dramatic.
Isn't there like a Netflix show or one of the streaming networks going to be doing a Lord of the Rings?
Amazon.
Show?
Oh, yeah.
Amazon's doing a Lord of the Rings show that's going to be a prequel to Lord of the Rings. I think it's a prequel.
Oh, nice.
But The Hobbit
I like
is a prequel
prequels.
to Lord of the Rings. So what's
Yeah,
it
but
gonna be?
I think it's like
Prequel to
after.
The
I think it's
Hobbit?
after the Hobbit. Or no, because the Hobbit. I don't know
It's
when that
before
takes
The
place.
Hobbit.
It's
The
probably
Hobbit's
before the
first,
Hobbit.
right?
It takes place a while before because
Yeah, it's probably like the new Game of
Was it-
Thrones, like where it takes place like 100 years before or something.
maybe because which is the Hobbit that's in the
It's
Hobbit? Is it
Bilbo. It's Bilbo,
Bilbo
Baggins
is
is
old,
in the Hobbit.
but he's
Frodo.
older by the time
In Lord of the
in
Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He's an older man. He's an old man.
Ian,
An old
Ian Holm.
an old Hobbit.
How old are we talking here?
I don't know. I don't know if they age the same way.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
that's a
I
good
think
question.
they,
No, they
old,
don't. They
they age
definitely
differently. But
But it's
he's
played by Ian Holm.
Yeah. Oh, great.
In
That's
the-
good to know.
So I'm just saying.
But in The Hobbit, it's his adventures as like a young man or a young Hobbit,
Mm-hmm.
right.
and then the Lord of the Rings,
It's Frodo.
it's Frodo
but he
who's
meets
now
Bilbo.
young, but he meets his uncle, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's his uncle.
His uncle Frodo, who's now an old Hobbit.
Yeah,
So it obviously takes place.
and he's like
Well, in the
consumed by
future.
the ring.
Some years later.
Give
some
it to
years-
me.
Yeah.
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 So, and hobbits are born? Are they like...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like
Dang.
little people.
Little people.
Yeah.
Just
Small.
little small
Don't
people.
call them little people.
No, little people
Little
is actually
creatures.
okay.
No.
In this
That's
case,
the
they
yeah,
actually are.
They are little people. Although I think it's
Fair.
the right case in the other aspect too.
Politically
Wow.
correct.
The M word's the bad one.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
I don't have a lot about hobbits. I mean, I like Lord of the Rings, but it took me. I think I saw. I don't remember which one
You watched
was
the
in the
extended
theaters.
versions?
No, I didn't watch the extended
I watched
versions.
all of the
I
extended
can't.
versions.
Whoa.
They're so.
They're
all
long.
of the movies are already so long.
Yeah.
And
So has anybody read the book? I mean, they're
He said
books.
he
I read The Hobbit.
I didn't read the books.
But I
books
never
are much
read
better.
the
I
Lord of
had
the
to
Rings.
read The Hobbit in school, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't remember
So
it?
you've read them all,
Yeah.
Ian?
Oh yeah.
You don't remember it though?
I remember having a lot of trouble getting through it.
I remember the first couple pages. It was rough just because he like took like 2 or 3 pages to describe the hill. And I was like, I don't know if I
That's
can
the
get
whole.
through this.
I mean, the books are huge, and
No, I
like
know.
there's tons of just
Description.
exposition and description,
right.
But it makes you feel like you're really part of it because you
Yeah.
like you get to,
No, I liked it after a
get
while.
to
Like
know
I liked
every detail.
and the movies actually followed the Hobbit pretty
I'll give
closely.
it another try.
Yeah. It definitely followed the Hobbit pretty
But
closely.
would you start if you were me?
You have to
Would
start
you
with the
start?
Hobbit.
You would start with the
Hobbit,
Hobbit.
yeah.
It's the beginning. I mean,
Yeah,
it introduces
and then
the
you go,
characters and the world.
Lord of the Rings. I'll read the Lord of the Rings eventually.
Yeah.
I'll get to
Although,
it.
I mean, once you
Get
if you
to it.
read it, like you'll be amazed at how much isn't
Well,
in
I-
those
In the
crazy long movies.
Crazy long.
No,
movies.
I know. There's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the third one's 4 hours long though. If you watch the
know.
extended
Yeah,
version,
but I mean, there are like whole scenes in the book that aren't even
Yeah,
in
they
the
didn't-
movie,
right?
Couldn't
like because they just
squeeze
really
it in.
they really didn't matter to like
The
to
overall
what the overall story
Yeah,
of the
progress
movie, the
the
way that
story,
the movie
yeah.
takes.
Peter Jackson, they gave him like $1 billion or maybe it was like $300 million or whatever to make the movies, and he made them all at the same time.
Yeah,
And
Oh.
when he did the Lord of the Rings, the company that gave it to him, there was like a mix-up or something. They didn't realize. They're like, wait, who did we just give $300 million to? And it was like Peter Jackson. They're like, oh my God, I think we just made a huge mistake. Like the producers and everything were like really worried at that moment because they gave him so much money. And the only movies he made before that were The Frighteners, which was a horror comedy with Michael J. Fox. And then he did Dead Alive, which was like another horror movie, maybe like
Oh,
one
wow.
other. So they're
So
like,
it was a happy accident.
yeah, so they were really lucky, but then it
Damn.
ended up coming back, and each one of those
People
made
love
over
the
300 million,
Lord
those
of the
movies
Rings
made
movies.
tons of money.
like over
Yeah.
$1 billion. Yeah,
They were
crazy.
They were good movies,
yeah, they're solid.
solid
Good
movies.
story.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy way to celebrate is just watching the movies or reading.
Wait, so
the
tell
book.
me more about this Amazon show.
I think it's just a prequel, but they've already cast it, and they're going to. It's coming out on Amazon, and
Prime Video.
Do you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it going to be like one
It's-
season,
no.
or is it going to be like it's going
No,
to
no,
be
I
10
think it's-
seasons? and
it'll probably be
keep-
season. I think they're trying to do like a Game of Thrones thing. Like I think everybody's trying to do a Game of Thrones thing because they're also Amazon's also putting out a series called Wheel of Time.
It's called the Battle of the Five.
Robert Jordan.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
which
that's
is like that series, but it's also kind of mystical. And then Netflix did The Witcher. Like I feel like they're all trying to do like the sword and sorcery stuff now because Game of Thrones
Oh,
was
that
such a
makes
big
sense.
hit.
And
Very
The Witcher's
popular.
The Witcher
Yeah.
was very popular too. I think.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I didn't really. It was okay.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
It's
It
going
was-
to be
it
a
was
show,
fine.
Hobbit show.
No,
No,
Lord of the
like
Rings
Lord
show.
of the Rings show.
It's supposed to be
Is it
called
gonna-
Lord of the Rings.
Is it going to be?
That's
is it
a
gonna
great name.
Is it going to
Yeah,
include?
it works.
Like, does it include the characters that we all know, or
I think they did cast Aragorn, and but it's
Same.
going to be a younger Aragorn. So
Okay.
so it is going to be in the same time frame, I guess.
okay?
I think that's what I read, but I don't really know enough about
It's
it.
a series, like
It'll be
several
like
episodes type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. It'll be like I don't know
Drag it
how
out. They're
many
gonna
they
drag it
do,
out
but
for
they'll
us. Okay.
yeah. But I think they can make whatever. I think it is going to be based on some of his appendices. What do you call it? I don't
Yeah.
know, like
Appendices.
other. Yeah, like other stories they wrote. Because even in The Hobbit, they added some stuff that wasn't in The Hobbit that was part of his overall story,
Mm-hmm.
just to tie in stuff to the Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
That's great.
interesting.
So it'll be.
Yeah, there's
it'll
plenty
be
of that.
good.
I'll
stuff,
check it out.
like the Tolkien
Yeah.
stuff. There's,
I think it'll be good.
yeah.
So, Ian, I should definitely read the book, not
First,
rent the movie, not get the movie.
yeah,
correct?
you should always read the book.
The Hobbit
Oh,
first.
I don't know.
Actually, if you read Psycho or Rosemary's Baby, they're exactly like the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They're like the only ones I've ever read that were like almost exactly like the movies.
Hmm.
I mean, they came out before the movies, but I read them after I watched
Yeah.
them. But other than that, most of the time the book's better. But I like the movies. Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
movies.
I like the movies.
The Hobbit
I was
movies I
very
wasn't a
happy that-
huge
for
fan
those
of,
movies.
but Lord of the Rings were awesome.
So this article says that
the Hobbit was a little forced.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
little
it
too
It didn't
much.
need to be 3 movies. It's not that
With
long.
3,
a
each
story.
one was 3 hours too.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it didn't need that.
Yikes.
And none of the characters really stand out because he's traveling with 12 dwarves, and all of them are kind of like, I mean, they
Like
got
the same. They're
I mean, they got
similar?
like different
Different-
personalities a little bit, but
Yeah.
I could never.
no sleepy, dopey.
Yeah, sleepy, dopey,
Happy.
crooked. I
Crooked.
don't know what the
Doc.
other ones are. yeah,
Sneezy.
Yeah.
weirdo, sneezy,
Jesus.
Papa
Weirdo is
Smurf.
not one of the
Sheepish.
7 dwarves.
I don't know.
Papa
Papa
Smurf.
Smurf.
Papa
Yeah,
Smurf.
yeah,
No?
yeah.
No, Papa
Now
Smurf?
the Smurf movies.
Now those
were-
are-
Those I
those
can
are-
get into.
Just like the TV
It's
show
not
or the
national.
book.
It's not International Smurf Day.
It's not. It's not.
International.
All right.
So this article says that there was rumors the show was going to center on young Aragorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then leading up,
Good job, Robert.
Coolest
Thank
character.
you.
but Middle Earth maps posted on the official Amazon Lord of the Rings Twitter profile showed lands that would have only existed long before the character's time, but it would feature his ancestors. So it will actually take place during the second age of Middle Earth.
The
Interesting.
second age of
Second
Middle Earth.
age.
Mm.
So The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings novel and film trilogy are set thousands of years after the second age, towards the end of the third age.
Yeah, so it is before The Hobbit.
Yep, it's before.
Do you think those
Oh.
people?
So how could it be young Aragorn then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
that's
weird.
weird.
That was just a rumor, so it's
So then maybe
probably
it's
his
not real.
ancestors. They might just like.
So they're
reference
probably
him.
just making up characters and
Yeah.
making up stories.
He plays
I
his great,
guess.
great, great, great.
Yeah, maybe it'll just be a different, or maybe Aragorn lives a long time and we just
I mean,
don't know.
I
Could
mean, I
be.
guess actually there's
They're
so
not
much
human.
history in the books that they talk about that they hopefully they include some of it.
I mean, they probably will.
I mean, they talk about kings that lived thousands
yeah.
of years
Yeah,
ago.
cool.
Game
and-
of Thrones was kind of
and-
the same way. Like he just built up like all this history for the characters
Yeah,
and
that's-
stuff. That's why
that's-
they're doing a prequel to that too.
Yeah, that's what Lord of the Rings is like. There's
Yeah.
tons of, I mean, there's age, like it says, ages, and
Right.
the kings lived for this year long and they ruled for this
Yeah,
long.
but
and
when does it
it's
start?
really neat.
Do you think they believe in like evolution, or because like when's the beginning of it? You know what I mean? Like how far back are they gonna go? Even with Game of Thrones,
Ooh.
the guys who make up the stories, like
How far-
George R.R. Martin and J.R.R. Tolkien and everybody
that's-
else with an R.R.
RR.
That's the
Arr.
beauty. Isn't that the beauty about creating a story? Is that you can go back as far as you want.
Right. I'm just wondering if they
To
teach
evolution.
evolution or something. Like, do they evolve, or is there
They
a
go back to
god?
the
I want to know
amoebas.
their religion.
I'm not sure.
practices.
Oh yeah, I don't.
I just want to know what year zero was.
well,
was there a
we don't wanna get
Pangea?
into a religious
Would Middle
conversation
Earth?
on here, but
That's true.
I guess.
I mean,
I just want to know if there's
yeah.
like a
Oh,
a
Robert.
Cretaceous
They
period or a
they luckily
Triassic
don't
period.
talk about religion in those.
I guess. I bet you they're religious.
Were you a philosophy major?
No, should I have been?
I don't know.
I just question
Did you-
things a lot,
Yeah, well, that's
so maybe.
Why?
Then.
I question it every time I talk to you, Robert. Why? Why am I talking to
Why?
you?
I don't. Because I come up with good points, and you guys just don't want to
Yeah.
admit it.
you are a
It's
little
true.
out there, and
You
it's
are.
always
Same.
interesting.
Thank you very much. I will take that as a compliment from everybody.
So how did this
Yeah,
day
that's
come
fine.
to be, Amber? Do you have that piece of information?
Nope. Someone made it. Well, I mean, it's
Someone made it.
the classic book was published on this day in 1937.
So that's probably
So-
why they picked the day.
That's probably why they picked the
But
day. But who
Who
picked it? I don't know.
And how long has it been around?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds.
it's
I
got to
don't know.
be more recent. I say it's after
It's probably
the movies.
more
I would
recent.
say, yeah.
There wasn't a
After
lot
the
of
hype.
stuff about Hobbit Day in my research. But I did just read, literally just now, that the Amazon bought the rights to Lord of the Rings, winning a bidding war against Netflix
Oh.
for $250 million. That a number
Rock
alone
on.
making it the most expensive television series ever.
I wonder what
Wow.
But later,
Netflix final bid was.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
But later,
$249.
the Hollywood Reporter reported that the whole series itself would end up costing more than $1 billion due to production
Sure.
expenses.
I'm sure.
For context, the Peter Jackson trilogy grossed $2.9 billion worldwide, and
What?
the combined budget for all three films was $281 million. So
Well, I
it's
was
more
close. I
than
said
the
300
movies.
million, yeah.
Wow.
That's insane. It better be
it's
good.
great, though.
It better look good. I'm always
Amazon
skeptical
doesn't
about
really
movies.
like. Amazon doesn't
or
have much,
shows.
so like they need to.
They have suits, okay?
Doesn't
No,
have
I meant-
much
I mean, they don't have much like
TV.
TV wise.
Well, like their
This'll
own,
be
their
this'll be their
original.
centerpiece.
This has
I
gotta
mean,
be it.
Marvelous Miss
definitely afford
Maisel.
Oh,
Yeah, Marvelous Miss Maisel
That is
on
really good.
Fleabag.
I mean,
oh, and the boys,
Have
right?
you-
And the
have you
boys.
watched
they
it?
could definitely afford it. I
Have
mean,
you watched Marvelous Miss Maisel?
No, but
it's
I
really
hear
good.
people talk
Well, I
about
mean,
it all
Jeff
the time.
Bezos made
Look,
he's at $200 billion now. Like he's worth $200
yeah,
billion,
well,
over 200.
I mean, as of like last week, Amazon itself was worth a
Oh,
billion.
yeah,
the
they're like
first
them-
company worth
yep.
$1 trillion. So,
It's insane.
so
It
they
is
can
kind of
definitely
insane.
afford
yeah,
it.
they can
They
afford,
can afford
it. Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
It's probably going to be great.
So
I look
we
forward
talked
to
about
it.
how
Yeah.
we celebrate. Do we have a cake? Hobbits
Sure.
probably love
yeah,
cake.
Hobbits would
yeah, they
definitely
eat.
have cake. They have cake.
The
Yeah.
second,
A
first,
Hobbit
second.
You know what? Today, have two cakes.
Yeah,
cakes.
you have
That's
a
it.
cake.
You got to have a cake early
And
and then
second
second
cake.
cake.
Second cake.
I love
Great
it.
idea.
Let's
That's
do it.
genius.
Second cake.
Second
Second
I'll
cake.
do
cake.
it.
Okay. So it's a cake day.
All right.
okay.
But you got to do it with all your friends.
Yeah.
You got to do it with a fellowship.
And maybe give some
All right.
some
Fellowship.
gifts. Some
Fellowship
like play
cake.
some tiny instruments and
yeah.
Set off some fireworks.
give some jewelry. Yeah. Go on a trip to Cambodia.
Invite an old man with a beard and a robe.
Ooh, yeah.
Yikes.
Let's go on an adventure.
I'll invite my
Yeah.
next door neighbor. He's outside a lot. He's always wearing his robe with a long beard. That won't be weird. All right, so definitely a cake day.
Yeah.
All right,
Pro
well, thanks for joining us again, guys, especially for Hobbit Day. I feel like this has been an adventure.
It has been an adventure.
And
She
an
learned a lot.
education.
Beth.
Yeah, you learned a
Thank
lot
you.
about
I did
Hobbit.
too,
Now you
really.
guys are like dying to read the books.
Totally.
I know.
Yep.
Totally.
Go
of
read
them.
the books.
Yeah, all of them. All 4 or more, whatever. Cool, guys.
There's more.
Bye.
Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye.
This has been a Seven Lamb production.